Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video on Lumber Capital Log Yard. Today we are going to be doing some custom milling, and it's been a while since we've run the mill, so let's get into this video. The deck is filled with oak and cherry today. I think there are 6 oak logs here, and then the rest is all cherry, and we have a lot of different things that we have to cut out of them. We're trying to keep it all straight in our head right now. So let me see if I can remember what everything is here. Everything marked 1 inch. Of course, this log actually isn't marked, so we just have to remember, I guess. Everyone marked 1 inch. Those are all cherry logs, and we're just going to basically cant them up and plane saw them. No live edge on those. We have 2 cherry logs marked 2 inch. Those are actually going to be 2 inches and 1/8, and they're going to be live edge. And then the oak is all going to be cut at 5/4, no live edge. So I enjoy cutting the live edge, especially like cutting slabs. I think that some of these logs would have been better suited for that, especially some of these cherry ones. The more weavy they are, the more bendy and just not straight a log is, the better it is used for something like a slab, where you just leave on the live edge and don't cant it up, square it up, and then cut through it, because you end up actually using a lot more of the log that way. So that's why it's really important that you want your logs to be as straight as possible on the mill when you're trying to get a lot out of it. But obviously that doesn't always happen, right? And it can be really cool to cut something that's a little just not straight, but these are all going to be canted up and plane sawed, and only a few of them are going to be left with their live edge on. So let's get to milling these. The first one is going to be a bit of a hassle. You can see some large branches were cut off of it, and just makes it kind of hard to roll, but most of this stuff is just shorter stuff. So another thing that we did was put our jigs a little closer together this morning. We make that error quite often when we're milling logs, is we don't adjust the jigs to be to suit the length of the logs that we're milling, and it ends up making it way harder for us. But we remembered to do that today. Let's get running this mill here, get it warming up. It is supposed to be a little nicer out today, not as chilly, which I'm looking forward to, because I am so sick and tired of this weather already. So we've just been chugging along here. Our next log fell off of the deck here on one end, so we're going to have to figure out how to pick it up and put it onto the arm there so we can get it up onto the mill. Sometimes this happens with these shorter logs. It is kind of a pain, and people always say, well, why don't you move your log deck closer together? And you can't really with the arms. You could technically put them on the inside of the arms if you really wanted to, although then that wouldn't work with when we cut normally, because the logs that we cut normally are 10 and 12 foot long, so it doesn't happen very often that we have shorter logs like this. So yeah, we'll try and figure out how to get that log up. We're almost to the oak. This next log here is oak. Looks pretty frozen. I think Jade was struggling to get it unattached from this other log here, so we'll see. So we are finally done with all of the custom milling for today. We did that whole deck's worth, as you guys saw. That was quite a bit. It took us about 4.5 to 5 hours, and we charge by the hour, so it's not too bad for all of those logs. I mean, 5 hours, that's not bad. So there were some pieces that I wanted to show you that were just absolutely beautiful. As you guys know, it was cherry and oak. There were some beautiful cherry slabs, but what really stuck out to me was some of the oak pieces that came off, just absolutely beautiful. I did get, I think 12 inches wide on one of those logs. This one's just 10 here, but you can see some of the ray fleck that's really showing through in these, in this piece here, and oh my gosh, I love it. When you see that ray fleck really showing up like this, it means that that the grain is pretty much vertical, because ray fleck doesn't show up when the grain is horizontal. I mean, you can see that it's there, but it's running sideways, so it's more skinny, whereas if you cut it with the grain vertical, then it will show up because it's laying like layered in there, and you can see some wider chunks in here. So this came more out of the center of the log, which you'd know because if you're plane sawing, the center of the log would be where you're getting your most vertical pieces. So this board's just absolutely beautiful, and there were a few more like this one in this pile here. So I think he's going to be really pleased with how his lumber turned out. Anyways, thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time.